Good morning, Slop Nation. Welcome to Slop Chop. This is a new comedy podcast hosted by myself, Harvey, Mulvihill. It is about the happenings of the internet, and it is your one-stop shop for slop. Welcome back. I appreciate you guys tuning in. We have a wonderful, wonderful, illustrious list of slopics to discuss today. It's been a fun week for slop. And just want to give you guys a reminder, if you do not care about one of the slopics that I'm discussing, skip it. There's always time codes in the description. Skip that. Because you can. You have the prerogative. You can skip anything you'd like. If you listen to just a second of this thing, I'm happy. I guess more than a second. But yeah, any amount of time spent listening to your boy is appreciated. So, if you don't want to hear about one of these illustrious slopics, give it a skip. Don't tap the glass. Don't tap the glass. Don't tap the glass. Have you guys heard this new Tyler album? It's good. What do we think? Do we like it? There was a meme on Twitter that I saw of the Tyler the Creator leak. And it was just this shitty AI generated fucking don't tap the glass, don't tap the glass, don't tap the glass. But that has been stuck in my head. The meme AI generated version of the Tyler leak, more so than the actual album. So I don't know why he didn't just do that. He could have just. It would have been probably easier to just AI generate some garbage and slap it on an album, and that shit's pretty catchy. It comes out pretty good. Maybe AI is good and based and morally correct in all facets. Food for thought. Yeah, the album's good. Let's pull up this track list, shall we? Listen to a few seconds of each so I can get a reminder. But I enjoy it. Tyler's the man. He's one of the artists that. Whatever he drops for the rest of time, I will listen to. Although I did, at one point feel that way about Kanye, and then I stopped listening. Yeah, so maybe that will happen eventually. Maybe Tyler will have a Nazi arc. Unlikely, but possible. But I love a 30-minute album. I love any album that is less than an hour. It's the sub-hour album is the equivalent of a 90-minute movie to me, where it just feels so bite-sized, so easy to handle. It's just the best. I don't know. I mean, I do know why artists don't do that more often. It's because of streaming numbers, which is, that's the name of the game. The more songs that you release on your project, the more opportunities people have to stream it on Spotify and Apple Music and Tidal. Remember Tidal? Any Tidal enjoyers in the chat? There's probably someone on God's green earth that still listens to Tidal by Jay-Z. What was the thing with that? It was the idea was they were going to pay their artists well because Spotify was fucking everyone over, and they wanted it to be, their selling point was we're going to have super HD, 4K music. I'm Spotify sounds pretty good to me. I don't see the need personally. It was twice the price. And it was also, the new kid on the block. And when you're the new kid on the block, you have to be one-upping the competition. And the angle they took was not it. Or maybe it was. I didn't. Oh, dude. So Jay-Z dropped. I want to say it was his fucking. It was that album, 1111 or whatever it's called. What the hell is that Jay-Z album called? 444. Yeah. I didn't even have to actually see it. I just had to type as if, and then it jogged my... You guys ever do that? Anyway, but yeah, 444, I want to say he released that exclusively on Tidal to get, he was trying to do the PlayStation thing of if you want to play Gears of War 2, you got to buy a fucking PlayStation. If you want to listen to 444, come on over to Tidal, brother. Cut to, it's the most pirated album of all time. Yeah. So, I don't think the Tidal play worked out, but that album is great. Okay, so if my memory serves me correctly, Jay-Z is married to Beyonce? No. Jay-Z is in fact married to Beyonce, but if my memory serves me correctly, he wanted her to release her album exclusively on Tidal as well, and that she is a much bigger artist than her husband, and I want to say she was like, or she talked to the lawyers, and they're like, any amount of business that this drives to the Tidal platform, it's nowhere close to the amount of business that you'll be losing by slicing your feet underneath you and not dropping your album on all platforms. So she said, okay, never mind. I'm not doing that shit. Sorry, honey. I'll see you at the next Illuminati child slaying event. If there is anyone in the Illuminati, it's those two, right? I think it has something to do with the fact that they're so out of the public eye, meaning they don't have, I just got, this is a fascinating sort of topic to me. The disparity, or like you have two options when you're a well-known artist. You can do a bunch of promotion, like Clips did for their most recent project. They just did every interview possible. I'm shocked they weren't on Hot Ones. But you could do a ton of press, but you lose the sort of prestige or aura of an unknown sort of mysterious artist, right? And Beyonce has never lost that aura. She doesn't do interviews because she's fucking Beyonce. She doesn't need to. But like there's, I'm certain that it was a conscious effort on her part or her team's part to be like, the more people hear of you talk, the less cool you seem. You're much more interesting as a sort of godlike, untouchable figure who's part of the Illuminati, probably. And if you're talking to fucking GQ, or if you're like, hey, this is I really just love my fans. I appreciate you guys so much. Then you just become a normal pop star. You're not on that god level. There's a couple other people like that go that way. Frank Ocean, Lord doesn't do interviews or press really. There's that sort of ethereal sort of vibe. And there's one person in particular who had that. He had the aura, and then he decided to trade it for clout. Aura and clout, I guess, are the two opposite sides of this equation in my brain. That would be The Weeknd. The Weeknd had that. He had this like sort of mysterious energy vibe, and then he decided that the next step for his career was to start acting. Bad idea. He was in that show The Idol, HBO, which is from the alleged creator of Euphoria, his next show. And then it starred The Weeknd, and everyone was like, oh God, oh no. And he's a terrible actor. And when you see someone act poorly, it really is going to hurt your opinion of their vibe. Does any bad actor have jizz? Jazz? Like, I'm trying to just not say the word aura over and over. Does any bad actor? I can't imagine you do. It's just the most embarrassing thing to see someone act poorly, right? So yeah, he traded that. He made himself visible and transparent, and I think it was a mistake, and it will be a mistake in the long run. And then shortly thereafter, or recently, in fact, he did a full feature-length movie with oh God, what is that fucking guy's name? He did a feature-length movie with the same title of his most recent album, and it was like the story of the album, basically. Awesome album. I don't remember what it's called. If you don't sweat, you're last. If you're Friday and Saturday equals me because I'm The Weeknd. I think that's what it was called. But it was from the director of some great projects. The guy that did Waves and the other one. I don't remember. Trey Edward Schultz is the director's name. And he doesn't matter. Who gives a fuck? But yeah, awesome director. I totally get like that's a good pull. That's a good pick for your weekend project. I think it was crashed and burned spectacularly. It got horrible reviews, kind of made no waves online, and all that became of it was making fun of his acting, and which further hurts the brand of The Weeknd. If you're an established artist, you have the ability to choose between those two modes of aura or clout. you can make your choice. But if you're on the come up, I don't know how you do the mysterious thing. Maybe you just kind of post your music to TikTok with vague, cool visuals. You're not really putting yourself out there visibly. It's just you can hear the music. Maybe that's a thing. I can't think of an example of someone who's done that, but that has to have existed. But much more common is the person who's posting themselves on social media constantly, like myself. But you know, like it's the thing, the most effective strategy that seems to work for the most people. And it's fine if you're a podcaster and you don't care about, you know, the whole point of a podcast is a kind of a window into someone's mind. Ugh, that sounds pretentious. A window into the mind of Harvey. No, it's you know, it's like, you know, it's different for a musician. That's what I'm trying to say. Comedians and podcasters are a different type, and they're much less cool. Much less cool than musicians. Musicians, you have the mysteriousness, and they're kind of enticing that way. Actors, I think, are in the same boat. That's entertainment. All right, but anyway, back to this Tyler album. I don't know how he got on that tangent. Tyler has done a good job of writing the line. He's also just evolved crazily as an artist. He's one of the most famous musicians on the planet now, which is nuts. And I think just he just seems cool as fuck, and his music is great, and I don't know what's not to like. He's awesome, and I love a 30-minute album. So let's go through this track list, shall we? I just need a refresher. Yeah, first half is like more bangery, which I always appreciate. In my rap music, I'm looking for up-tempo bangers. I'm looking for shit that slaps in the old whip. You know, and like the slower, more melodic stuff, I'm less interested in, generally speaking. Hurry Up Tomorrow is the name of the album of The Weeknd's that I just saw that on Spotify. I did not remember it. Sugar on my tongue. Yeah, I think these are all pretty solid. Ring, 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 pick up the phone. Some catchy hooks. And how could we forget? Don't tap the glass. Don't tap the glass. Don't tap the glass. There's a video that put Fantano reacting to the Mac Miller posthumous album. It just took his like crying reaction and put that. Don't tap the glass. 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 What the fuck am I even supposed to say about this? Don't tap the glass. Fantano's like weeping. That's good stuff. Good stuff. Oh, I want to talk. Hold on. Hold the freak on, brother. Hold the freak on, brother. I'm gonna look up the Genius because there was this verse on the front half of the album that blew my tits off. While we're here on this Genius thing, I want to briefly complain about how awful the Genius website is and has always been, and how difficult it is to find shit on it, and the fact that like when you type in a song title, it defaults to the lyrics of the song. So then you have to like scroll down to find the fucking title. It is the most backwards ass shit. I just typed in "Don't Tap the Glass" and nothing's coming up. Don't tap. There it is. All right, Rap Genius came through. Is that Pharrell? Yeah, dude, that's Pharrell. I'm in Paris where it rains. Married to the game, 40 carats in the rings. That shit hits, brother. Oh my god, Pharrell's got bars. What the frick, bruh? Okay, damn, yeah. That was a very impressive verse from one Pharrell Williams. Best thing he's put out since Happy. 'Cause I'm happy. You guys remember that when that song was being played 700 times a day on every radio station. That's got to be his biggest song of all time. There's no way it's not. All right. Oh, here's an interesting tidbit. My brothers and I were recently talking about how many songs do you think, or how many artists have released a song on Spotify with more than 1 billion plays? I'll give you a second to think about it. What do we think? What do we think? What do we think? How many artists have released a song on Spotify with more than 1 billion plays? Do we think it's 5? Do we think it's 10? Do we think it's 100? Do we think it's 1,000? What do we think? The answer is 150, roughly. Which is a lot, dude. More than I expected. 1 billion is so many plays. Pharrell is one of those 150, because I guarantee you that fucking Happy song has like 3 trillion plays from waspy moms all over the Midwest and the South. My mom being one of them. Yeah, but what a crazy feat that is. 1 billion plays. There's very few. Ooh, I don't know. I'm curious about that with YouTubers as well. I think the answer is only children's media. So, and Bad Bunny. Bad Bunny, Justin Bieber, Psy from fucking Gangnam Style. Yeah, so artists and children's like Slop, Baby Shark. Baby Shark? Baby Shark is the single most viewed video on the internet by a wide margin. It has been seen on YouTube more times than people exist in the world. It has more views than there are humans on the planet. Which is pretty wild. Pretty wild. So yeah, 150-ish people have released a song on Spotify with more than a billy. A billy! What a fucking crazy number that is. 1,000 millions. Anywho, Don't Have the Glass is good. Do I have shit else to say about it? Yeah, Sucker Free I can do without. Monim I can do without. Stop Playing With Me I enjoy. Counter to my previous point about me only liking rap that's all up-tempo and bangery, I really enjoyed the I'll Take Care of You, the last or second to last song on the album featuring Yebba. Yebba! I don't know Yebba. I have no idea who Yebba is. Ooh, she was on the recent Drake project too. Yebba's Heartbreak. Okay, she's like an OVO person, I think. Anyway, but she was very good on this Tyler song. Tyler like just does obviously the production on the whole album, but this last song he's like barely on. Just lets Yebba take the center stage, which is pretty good. I enjoyed it. Okay, let's fucking move on. I don't have shit else to say about the goddamn Tyler album. It's good. Tyler's a fascinating, unique, incredible artist. We love him here at Slop Chop. God bless Tyler, the creator. Let's move on. Chuck E. Cheese got arrested. Did you guys see this? Chuck E. Cheese himself was arrested for presumably slinging drugs, sprinkling crack on those shitty pizzas, or just, you know, you're there with your kids and you want the time to pass as quickly as possible because, you know, you want this 6-hour birthday party to turn into, you know, in your brain, like a tight 90. So what do? You go buy some ketamine from Chuckle behind the where they used to have the electronic creepy ass guys. That's where they sell drugs now. And finally, so it was probably some snitch wife who saw the dad just zonked in the ball pit and decided that enough was enough, and that every time, every year when they bring their screaming children to this place, he's totally unresponsive and unhelpful and sitting in a pool of urine, the pool of urine underneath the ball pit. That's where the dad remains, in a K-hole. And she had enough, and then she reported poor old Chuck to the authorities, and now that man has been arrested. It is so funny to me to arrest the mascot of an establishment in front of dozens of children and put him in handcuffs and then take him outside and put him in the fucking cop car. I think probably that was a conscious effort, conscious decision. They're like, what's the least traumatizing thing we can do to these kids? Do we rip the head off of this mouse figure and arrest him then? Or do we... I actually, you know what? I don't even know. Why wouldn't they just have him take the fucking costume off? Hey, you're under arrest. Take the... Mr. Cheese, you're under arrest. Take the goddamn costume off and then we'll take you fucking to jail or whatever. But instead they decided to just arrest the mascot himself. And now forever I will always think of the fact that Chuck got arrested for slanging dope. Mommy, why is Chucky getting arrested? Well, sweetie, she, that's what happens to bad people. Bad people get arrested. The police are here to protect us. Little white honey. The police are here to protect us, and that he's a bad man, that Chuck E. Cheese. He sold your father some bad dope. There's fentanyl in it. Now your father has a fentanyl problem. As a quick sidebar, it is crazy to me that people, 5 years ago, people were testing their drugs to make sure there was no fentanyl in it. And now people are addicted to fentanyl. How the tables have turned on that drug. But yeah, shouts out to Chuck E. Cheese. I hope your time served goes well or whatever. I don't know. I think he's probably gonna have a hard time in the joint, in the clinker. Maybe he'll just be well regarded as sort of a celebrity. Ooh, he can get adopted by a giant black guy who has healing powers, and then when the shitty, horrible warden comes and murders the black guy's pet Chucky, the guy can just revive him. Do you know what I'm saying, brother? Stephen King's a freak, huh? Oh, man. Don't fuck my ass. Don't fuck my ass. Don't fuck my ass. So rest in peace, or God love you to Chuck E. Cheese, and I hope you do your time well. Can you imagine Chuck E. Cheese in the fucking the jumpsuit, eating the Pop-Tart or whatever bullshit they give you for breakfast, the hot dog for dinner? Poor bastard. He becomes like a feral rat. Still wearing the Chuck E. Cheese outfit. There's a fucking rat in here. Oh my god. No, he's one of the prisoners. He's one of the inmates. His name's Chuck. Oh shit, like the guy? Is that Chuck E. Cheese? Yeah, the man himself. Damn, Chuck. Falling on hard times, I see. All right, bro. I'll leave you to it. So shouts out to that. Shouts out to Chuck E. Cheese. God love you. All right. I would like to take this time to remind you to subscribe or follow on your listening app of choice. Press follow, press subscribe, and leave me a comment, man. If you are on the YouTube or the Spotify, leave your boy a comment. I obviously read all of them because there's no great swath of comments to go through. So if you would like to talk to your boy directly, leave me a mother freaking comment. Thank you. Also, it helps the new podcast get off the ground. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. All right. Onward to our main topic of the evening. I always say evening here. It's the morning. Good morning, Slop Nation. I post this in the freaking morning, brother. It doesn't matter at all. It's just funny that I do that. All right, main topic. Are you ready for this main topic time? It's Pedro Pascal. Pedro Pascal. The man who is everywhere. He is hold on. We got to get this man's IMDb up because, well, as we all remember, he was first, seen or first noticed by most of the world in Game of Thrones, right? Game of Thrones was his big break, and sort of since then, there's a brief period of seeing him, creep up every once in a while. He was in Game of Thrones in 2014, so it was more than 10 years ago. A couple of other not as well known roles. He got the Narcos gig. I remember him in Narcos. So I was like, oh, it's a Game of Thrones guy. Cool. He got the Narcos gig. He was in that awful Second Kingsman movie, which I don't remember at all. A couple of other projects here and there. And then I think from basically 2020 onward is when I just started seeing him everywhere. 2020, he was in this the terrible Wonder Woman sequel, 1984 prequel. He was cast as the Mandalorian, of course. I think that was probably before 2020, but you just started seeing him everywhere. So he landed the Mandalorian thing, and I was stoked. I'm still stoked. I think he's great in that role. He keeps getting cast and stuff. This year, 2025 alone, he has been in The Last of Us, Materialists, Fantastic Four, and Eddington. Four major projects, which is too many. And he has, in my opinion, overexposed himself. And it's kind of no fault of his. It's such a weird thing when you get to be an actor or anyone of that caliber, and you have all of these people who are requesting that you be a part of their thing, and they'll pay you good money, and it's good. It's actually not good exposure. It's bad exposure. But, are you going to say no to the fucking Last of Us? I'm certainly not. Are you going to say no to the new Ari Aster film? No. So everyone wants you to be in their things, and then, again, by no fault of your own. He's a good actor. But no, you're just in the public eye too much, and people turn on you. It's wild. It's a fascinating phenomenon. And it sort of happens every time this happens, where someone will get super famous and super big, the internet falls in love with them, and then they sort of get tired of you. They tire of you. And they kick you to the curb, which is, it's unfortunate, but it's the reality of the situation. We're human beings. We get tired of your face and we don't want to see it anymore, right? I think I don't share this opinion with these people online. I don't blame them for having the opinion. When someone's shoved down your throat that way, it gets to be annoying, tedious. So I don't think these people are wrong for having this fuck Pedro Pascal thing that's going on the internet right now. It is interesting though, right? Here's the closest thing that he's done to that deserves maybe not genuine criticism, but I could see why people would criticize it, right? And it's I have anxiety in interviews, and I have to hold my female co-stars' hands and and grab their ass and motorboat their big beautiful breasts, just because I suffer from panic attacks, and two giant tits in my face really help calm me down. That is a little suspect. It's a little odd. So I've seen a lot of this. Here's the narrative, right? This is the entire sequence of tweets. I'll give it to you right now. Tweet 1, just from some godforsaken news scraping publication like GQ or Discussing Film or some shit, where they go, Pedro Pascal suffers from anxiety and holds his co-star Vanessa Kirby's hand during press junket. Or it'll be a fan theorizing that's what's happening because they're holding hands and because they're all over each other and she's married and he's probably gay. Probably gay. We'll get to that. So there's your tweet. There's tweet number 1. And then tweet number 2 is isn't it kind of weird that this married woman is all over her co-star like this? If I were her husband, I would be beating the shit out of Pedro Pascal. And then tweet number 3 is wait a minute, doesn't everyone know that Pedro Pascal is gay? And that's why it's okay that he's having full unprotected sex with Vanessa Kirby on the red carpet. Those are like the big 3 tweets that I've been seeing over and over, basically in that order. And which leads to people just seeing a lot of him both on their screen and on their screen, their smaller screen. And with people just hear your name and they can just get tired. They just see too much of you and they tire of you and then they hate you. This is honestly a great lesson for any aspiring public figure to, like, bro, you gotta take your foot off the gas every once in a while. You can't be in 15 projects in a year. Yeah, so like in 2 years, he was Driveway Dolls, the Coen Brothers, The Uninvited, The Wild Robot, Gladiator 2, Eddington, Last of Us, Materialist, Fantastic Four. And he's going to be the lead in both of these new Avengers movies. He's like the new Captain America. He's the lead. I don't think that will hurt their performance or whatever. I could see some salty people online, and I always need to remind myself that Twitter is not a real place, and most people just like him because he's handsome and a good actor, right? He seems like a good guy. I can't imagine. Actually, I can imagine him having some skeletons in the closet and him being a closet weirdo. I could see that happening. That's another sort of a genre of tweet that I'm seeing is it's always the guy from Dexter, the villain from Dexter who knows something's up from season 1. He just can't prove it. And he's just staring at Dexter like that the whole time. I see tweets like, I just know that there's something going on with Pedro Pascal. I can't prove it yet, but I just know it. Something's going on. But again, that's overexposure. People see your face too much. They start hating you and they start like plotting on your like preying on your downfall. And maybe there's some shit going on. I don't know. I've surveyed the room. I've surveyed my normie friends or just people who are aware of this guy. I've surveyed my just friends about this situation, and people are uniformly, except for one, one of my friends who's just a massive fan of his is very positive on him still, but the prevailing narrative now on the streets have been saying that they're tired of this guy. And it's not just the online sort of persona that he has. It's people are tired of him. And I don't know what to do about that. It's unfortunate, you know? It sucks. Because he's going to be the face of the Avengers for the at least the next 2 years. So are people going to continue hating him for 2 years and then will people boycott these Avengers movies because of Pedro Pascal is starring? Don't show me his face again. I will not go see this multi-billion-dollar Disney production. No, that will not happen. But I do, you know, any bad press. What's the old saying? Any bad press sucks ass. All bad press sucks ass. That old adage. What do you guys think about Pedro Pascal? Do we like him? Do we hate him? Do you love it? Do you hate it? What would you rate it? I don't have a problem with him. Truly. I don't. The only reason I'm covering this is because that's what people are talking about currently, but I really don't. I like him still. I think it's interesting. It's just fascinating to see the cultural shift happen in real time. And by the way, this is something that truly does happen to so many people. I think especially with online figures and especially with women. Especially with women. I always think of there's always their Reddit usually has their female sort of celebrity crush. And just talking about Reddit makes my skin curl. My God, those people are animals. It was like Jennifer Lawrence for a minute. Jennifer Lawrence was the golden child of the internet, Reddit specifically. Like, oh, she's just so down to earth. She's basically one of us. She's like if one of us got famous and got an Oscar. And then she does some cringe shit or whatever, and Reddit just turns on her. Fuck this bitch. She's so goddamn fucking annoying. I never liked her anyway. Ugh. That shit is nauseating, and it is worse with women. I think just inherent sort of misogyny going on there, but it does happen with dudes, and it will always eventually happen to you if you're a public figure. I think eventually everyone gets shat upon uniformly across the board. I don't know if there's anyone that goes away unscathed. It really is just the amount of the shitting and what you do about it. You know, if you're memed on, there's only one correct course of action, and that is to embrace the meme. Make it your profile picture. Stand behind it proudly, even if it's the most embarrassing cringe shit ever. Because if you run from it, or like tell people to stop doing it or whatever, or to let on that it hurts your feelings, you're done. You're done.
You're done.
Right? So what you have to do instead is like, hey, I'm annoying. That's what Pedro Pascal should do. He should just do a fucking YouTube video and go, listen, I know my fucking mug has been all over your airwaves, and I get it. I'm annoying. I grab my female co-star's hands, and it's they're very pretty, and you're jealous, and I get that too. I'm vaguely homosexual, but I can't come out because I'm the face of the Avengers, and we can't have a gay face of the Avengers. It's too politically questionable. It would be very bad for my career. So I'm not going to come out of the closet, but I am vaguely gay. I know that there's a lot of speculation about that. I just wanted to confirm that, yes, I am, in fact, vaguely gay. And no, I will not be coming out. That is what you should do, man. It's a really good idea. That's fascinating. You learn so much when you wear headphones. If you, like... I'm going to cut this out, so but you guys hear that? It's like pop rocks. That's just spit bubbles. That's fucking disgusting. But if you turn your gain all the way up and you put your fucking mic in your mouth, you can hear spit bubbles popping, and it sounds like pop rocks. Ew. I hope that picks up. I don't know if I'll put that in the episode or not, but ew. Pedro Pascal. So I'm looking forward to Pedro Pascal's public briefing about the situation, about him being annoying and overexposed and everywhere, and that everyone hates him now, even though he's a good actor and he never did anything wrong. He's just very touchy-feely with his co-workers, and what are you going to do? You know, what are you going to do? Has he ever been bad? Has he ever once been bad in a role? He's a good actor. That's why I think it's unfair to... If he was a shitty actor and he was all over the place, I'd understand. But he's not. He's good. I think it's really just the interviews, behind the scenes stuff. Just him being cutesy and having anxiety. Oh, do you have anxiety, Pedro Pascal? What are you, a fucking human, you pussy? You're an actor, bro. You get up there and you act. Is that the narrative? Is that what people are mad at? I can't think of anything else that's wrong with the guy. It's just that he's everywhere. He's just overexposed. You got to do the Frank Ocean thing of just fall off the face of the earth, or the Bo Burnham, just fall off the face of the earth. You release your project, you do 1 or 2 Instagram posts about it, and then you are completely unheard of for the next 2 to 3 years until your next project. You Daniel Day-Lewis it, in your case, actor man. Daniel Day-Lewis it. You don't have the caliber that Daniel Day-Lewis has. Okay, fair enough. You can't do that, but you should take a page out of his book and just be. How does that guy make money? Is Daniel Day-Lewis just poor? He does 1 project every 5 years. That's not enough money to live on, is it? Is he getting paid tens of millions of dollars a project? I don't think so. He's probably getting paid like a couple million, which is a lot of money, but maybe he just lives sort of modestly. Maybe he lives in like North Dakota or some shit. He's also an anomaly. There's not many people that do that. There's not many people that come out and do one project and then say, all right, I'm retiring. Goodbye. And every time he does a project, he gets nominated for Best Actor. Yeah. All right. So he's one of a kind. And we're back to movie bullshit, brother. Well, I guess this is an actor, so it's fine to be on that movie bullshit. Really love Materialists. You guys should watch Materialists if you haven't. That movie's the shit. Pedro Pascal is excellent in it. Chris Evans is also excellent. Chris Evans is rumored to be making an appearance in these next Avengers movies. Wouldn't be surprised if he's just back as Captain America, but it's the different universe Captain America. And also he's in 3 scenes because he's very expensive. Very expensive. So he's not going to be like on the team. But how do we feel about Reed Richards, Mr. Fantastic, about being the face of the Avengers, being the new Captain America? Do we like that? I don't have an opinion yet because I haven't seen the movie. I'm seeing it literally 15 minutes after I wrap this episode. I'm going to watch the Fantastic Four film. I'm looking forward to it. I hope it's good. Oh, that's actually it'll be a good sample size to ask these people that I see it with, and perhaps some people outside the theater, what's your opinion on old Pedro there? I'm sure he's going to do a good job. Will there be, let me ask you this, riddle me this, will there be a crude penis joke about Mr. Fantastic and his cock and how it can stretch and be big? Will that be in there? Or will there be a rock penis joke about the Thing? Can we get some cock jokes, please? Or a fire cock joke? Now, the best one is obviously Reed Richards with the stretchy dick. I saw, by the way, I saw a thing that was like, or I think it was a review for this. The best Fantastic Four movie is still The Incredibles. And I was like, oh, shit, fuck, bro. That's spot on. Invisible Woman, Mr. Incredible is Elastigirl. The Thing is what did I say? Did I say that correctly? Did I say Mrs. or Mr.? I think I said Mrs. Mrs. Incredible is, oh my God. Mrs. Incredible is Elastigirl? Am I a fucking idiot? Am I a goddamn fucking idiot? Let's start over. Violet is the Invisible Woman. The Thing is Mr. Incredible. Elastigirl is Mr. Incredible. I'm getting them confused now. Mr. Fantastic. Mr. Fantastic and Mr. Incredible. That's very interesting. How they both have just the name of the group. And then all the other characters just have... Why is that? All the other characters have a name that kind of vaguely works for their power. And the main guy is just called Mr. Last Name. That's odd. There's a Norm Macdonald sketch about this for the Fantastic Four, but it seems like the Incredibles took a lot of inspiration. The only one that doesn't track or add up is Dash. Dash is a speedster, and the fourth... Oh, yeah. So Speedster versus Human Torch. So there's your distinction. I think it probably would have been too obvious if you had a fucking Dash turned into a flame and shot him through the air. Yeah. So you just make him fast. That's your go-to sort of hero power, superpower. Anyway, but the it is pretty fucking spot on. It's 4 of them. They work together, or they you have your individual character power moments and then your big team up battle at the end. It is a straight up Fantastic Four movie. And The Incredibles is excellent. Notice how I use that word instead of the one that I was supposed to. That's the joke. Incredibles is amazing. A fucking banger. Absolutely in my top 10 of all time. I love it dearly. And it's the best Fantastic Four movie. Unless this one tops it, which it won't. I have not seen this yet, but I know for a fact it's not better than that first Incredibles movie. The second one can suck my ass. Suck my ass. Incredibles 2, you're slop. You are Pixar Disney slop. Let's move on. Pedro Pascal, God love you. I'm still a fan. I think that you are interesting and great, and you're overexposed, which sucks, but you know, there's nothing to that except for taking a step back and telling your management that you need to take a step back, and then people will love you when you come back for these Avengers movies. Just do nothing in between the Fantastic Four and the Avengers. Well, he's already done 4 projects and they're coming out in between then. Fuck. Yeah, he already shot 4 things and they're coming out in between the Fantastic Four and the Avengers. Dang it. All right, well then, never mind. Just keep doing what you're doing and just fuck the haters, I guess. I don't know what to tell you. God love you, Pedro Pascal. It would be cool if you were gay, just to have another one on the team. But I don't anticipate him coming out anytime soon. It'll be a late career move. It'll be a late career move, like an Ellen DeGeneres, where it's like you're established, people love your work, or hopefully love your work, don't hate you, ideally. And then, you know, when you're 47, you do a big Oprah interview about coming out of the closet. Publicity. Oh my God, good for you. I just didn't feel safe as a leading man. That's definitely going to happen. Definitely going to happen. And I hope it does, because it'd be cool to have a gay Avenger. I was asking about this with my friend, but I cannot think of another gay leading man like that. Can you? Who's the gay actor, the most famous gay actor? I don't know. I have no idea. And are there any gays on the Avengers? There's gay characters or queer? I don't think there's any either. It's too risky still. As much progress as we've made, it's still too risky to do that. So I get it, you know. But anyway, God love you, queer ass, touchy-feely ass Pedro Pascal. And the Slop Nation approves of you, sir. Well, actually, I don't know what the Slop Nation feels. I'm curious what you guys feel. Leave me a comment. Let me know. You still rocking with Pedro? Are you tired of him? Do you not want to see his face ever again? Will you be skipping these Avengers movies because he's the face of them? No, you won't, you fucking liar. All right, onward. I wanted to give a shout out. Or just like it was a cool thing. I was at Torchy's Tacos the other day. Torchy's Tacos. And who did I see there but a giant cutout of Brittany Broski? Brittany Broski got a Torchy's sponsorship. And like, she has her own bowl at the restaurant. But she's like the brand ambassador now. She's like the Shane Gillis to Bud Light for Torchy's. It's so fucking cool. Brittany Broski is the coolest, like one of my favorite creators. She's awesome. Yeah, about a month ago, Jules on Spotify. Shouts out to Jules for leaving comments. I appreciate it. Jules said that Brittany Broski is a great example of a meme turned into a career, which is so true. Perfect example where Brittany had the kombucha video, like early 2016, 2017, and then just catapulted that meme into a successful content creating career. And she's hilarious. She's smart as fuck. She reads books, bro. She has an awesome solo podcast that was truthfully like inspirational for this one. She is much better at podcasting than I am. I'm still getting good at it. She's already done 100 episodes, bro. I'm working on it. And she's smarter than me. But she's awesome. I love her very much. Her content is fantastic. She's very she's like how salt of the earth, I don't know. She's so accessible. And oh shit, I think my camera is off. My camera was off. Whoops. Any camera havers in the chat? Anyone know how to get past this 30-minute bullshit? Every 30 minutes my camera shuts off. It's very annoying. And I have to just press the button. I got a little remote though, so I don't have to get up and press it. Look, it's a little remote. So I can just press it on my desk, which is nice. But I do have to remember to do that, or else it stops recording the video. Who gives a shit? Does anyone watch podcasts? I do, sort of. I do this thing where YouTube is my main source of entertainment in general, and I'm a big podcast person. And so what I will do is play the video podcast in my pocket, and then when they are discussing something visual, or if I want to see them react to something, or if they're like making a funny face or whatever, I'll just pull my phone out of my pocket for a few seconds or minutes and then put it back into my pocket, right? I'm not sitting there watching the podcast the whole time, but it's probably like 7 or 80-20. 80 listen, 20 watch is what I do. And I do miss that element when it's not there. Although I mostly just wish that people would upload their podcasts to YouTube, because I don't listen to podcasts on any other platform. But I am unique that way. I think most people are listening to podcasts on podcasting platforms, Spotify and Apple and the like. So obviously Slop Shop will exist on every platform that there is to exist on. But yeah, Brittany Broski is the fucking homie. She's awesome. I aspire to one day collaborate with her. That would be so cool in a couple years. Like, it's yeah, somehow that sounds cringe to say, but I don't care, bruh. I have aspirations, bro. And I would love, like, you know, to eventually collab with the Broski. She's awesome. Do we think that she will have the Pedro Pascal effect eventually? She is a woman in the media. Do you think people will turn on her eventually? They did it with Drew and Inya, who have a podcast called something. Yeah, but those two got dragged through the mud pretty recently. I think they're still kind of crawling their way out of that. And it's weird, man. I think just any public figure, given enough time, will eventually succumb to it. There's not really any way around it, which sucks. I haven't seen that with Brittany. I think she's just the shit. She's awesome. She gets legit A-listers on her show. She had Pedro Pascal on her Royal Court series on YouTube, which is just an interview show. So yeah, she's the real deal. She's awesome. She interviewed Timothy Chalamet, my beloved, the Twink King. She interviewed Chalamet for the fucking Bob Dylan movie, bro. That's crazy. So yeah, she is a super smart. She's catapulted. I'm very, very impressed with her success. She deserves every bit of it. And God love you, Brittany Broski. It's so cool to see you just like mainstream now, dude. Torchy's Tacos. It's such a great synonymous relationship there, where Torchy's seems really cool by hiring, you know, this content creating person who the internet loves. Torchy's seems in touch and cool, and she makes a ton of money. And she gets a ton of exposure. And people are like, who is this Brittany Broski? Normies, you know, or moms and dads are going to Google her because she's at every Torchy's Tacos now. There's a giant cutout, like the Shaq cutout. I don't know if you guys have seen that. Or at my local Micro Center, there's a Shaquille O'Neal cutout that's life-sized, and I always stand by it because I'm tall, and that guy is really tall. So it's cool seeing, like, comparing what I look like next to Shaq. But she has one of those. She has like a body cutout at fucking Torchy's, and she's like, oh, she's like smiling. It's so cool, man. It's fucking awesome. So God love you to Brittany Broski. Are there any other examples you guys can think of? Memes turned into successful careers. I think another one, Vanilla Mace, who has been killing it online recently. She's a streamer. She had, I think just one of her clips went viral. She had very few followers / traction on her Twitch stream. And then one of her, I think it was like a reaction to, it was a Labubu thing. That's what it was. It was a Labubu thing. She pulled like she was sitting in her car, the classic car vlog video thing, where she was like, I give me anything from this Labubu box except for that fuck ass Christmas tree. And she pulls the fuck ass Christmas tree and she has the reaction, right? That was the first thing I saw of hers. And she has catapulted that into a very successful career. But I think that's different. Well, No, it's the same. It's the same. It's her posting her stuff and it going viral, and then her, not crumbling under that pressure and not doing the same thing over and over, and just, people realizing she has the talent to back it up. She's hilarious. And people, like, once they know of you, they realize that you have worth and that you're talented. People will follow you into the gates of oblivion. I never played that Oblivion remake. Did you guys play that Oblivion remake? So God love you to Brittany Broski. If you guys are not following her, she doesn't need the plug. She's doing all right. She's doing very well. She does not need the plug. Anything else about Brittany? It's Brittany, bitch. It's got to be tough to be named Brittany, She's reclaiming the Brittany, and I am attempting to reclaim the Harvey from fucking Weinstein, dude. Did you guys know that every time I introduce myself to someone, I would say 50% of the time, they go, oh, like Weinstein. Like, that's exactly right. It's like Harvey Weinstein. It's a really easy way to remember it. I'm like the sex criminal. That's unfortunate. And then, you have the thing of I'm trying to create my own nickname, or trying to create your own nickname is obviously futile. It's impossible. Similarly, I'll be like, like the hurricane. That hurricane in Houston a couple years ago. I remember that. They're like, oh yeah, no, I'm just gonna remember. It's much easier to remember the sex pest. That guy kind of sticks in your head, right? The hurricane's kind of old news at this point. So, reclaiming the name Harvey, slowly but surely. I don't know. Every time I catch myself talking about plans or aspirations or, desires to be well known, like a legit podcaster, it sounds cringe coming out of my face. It might be cringe to listen to, but you know what? I am cringe, and cringe is okay, right? I am cringe, and cringe is okay. Kill not the part of you that is cringe. Kill the part of you that cringes. Socrates. So God love you, Brittany Broski. We love you on here on Slop Shop. It would be the dream of dreams. She's one of like my white whale. It's not even like that. It's like if I'm lucky enough to eventually have a successful platform, she's one of the people that I dream to collaborate with. That's the best way to put it. So yeah, shouts out to Brittany. All right, moving right along. Did you guys see the Pluribus teacher? Pluribus, I think it's called. From the creators of Breaking Bad and Better Call Saul, but they didn't put that. Oh, God. Saul never gets any fucking respect in this goddamn establishment. From the creator of Breaking Bad comes Pluribus, starring Kim Wexler. Kim Wexler from Better Call Saul is the main character of this new show from Vince Gilligan. They released the credits for directors and writers, and all the writers and directors are Better Call Saul people. So it's going to be great. There's a 0% chance this show is not great. I will stake my claim as a guy on this assumption. I would be shocked, appalled if this was not excellent. It's going to be great. I just know it. It's fucking Vince Gilligan. The man has not missed yet. The closest thing that he's had to a miss is the Breaking Bad movie. Jesse Pinkman is cold and goes to Alaska. What's it called? The Jesse Pinkman is cold and goes to Alaska movie. Yeah, that was like mid, but with great elements. And also it's a feature film, and that's not his forte. Vince is into the TV, the episodic sort of storytelling thing, and it's gonna be fucking awesome. The teaser, if you guys didn't see it, was just this mysterious, it's like a wide shot of an office building at night. It cuts in and there's a lady picking up the donuts from the office, licking them one by one and putting them back. Right? Creepy, gross thing to do. And then it just like pans past this smiley face. The smiley face is like the sort of image of the show. Very Watchmen with the smiley face. I think Watchmen kind of did that, but whatever. We'll give it to him. There can be two. The smiley face is not copywritten. It is pretty Watchmen though, that thing. Anyway, but I'm really looking forward to it. I think it's gonna be fucking awesome. Kim Wexler might very well be my favorite character in the Breaking Bad universe. And I think that Ray Seahorn, the actress, plays her beautifully, incredibly, and I can't wait to see more from her. I'm so happy that she's got her own show. She absolutely has the chops and deserves every bit of it. Honestly, the more I talk about this, the more I just want to go back and watch Better Call Saul again. And I retweeted something the other day. White people be like, dude, you got to watch Better Call Saul. It's just as good as Breaking Bad. I mean, that is literally me. Better Call Saul is so fucking good. And every time I bring it up to someone, they're like, yeah, I tried the first couple episodes and didn't really get into it. I'm like, you No, I totally, completely disagree with that assessment, and I think that it is worth your time, unlike most things are, It is the quality is so high that it's like, it's just, you're depriving yourself of some of the best television ever put to screen. I don't say that lightly. Every aspect. Your writing, your acting, your cinematography. Are you fucking kidding me? The shots in the show are frankly astonishing. They're like the best I've ever seen in any media. It's unbelievable how that show is shot. The creative ass, like I remember they started doing it in later seasons of Breaking Bad where they'd have like, Jesse pulling or grabbing the gas can and the camera's mounted on the gas can and it shows it from the gas can's perspective, or like the camera for a 2-second shot will be underneath the tray of meth and it goes whoomph and it ding, like, and just I always just think of how many setups it has to take. For those that don't know, a setup means like literally putting the camera where it needs to go and testing the thing and making sure it all works, and that takes a lot of time, much more time than doing several takes of a thing. Once you're all set up, doing another take is the easiest thing in the world. You just tell the actors to start from one and do it again. But each setup takes a lot of fucking time, and there are, hundreds in every episode of Better Call Saul. It's just crazy. That's probably an exaggeration, but so many. And for like just a 2-second little, it's nuts. And so I hope that, I haven't looked into this at all, but I really hope that they keep the same team from Saul on this new Apple TV show. Pluribus. Weird name. But I have absolute faith in Vince Gilligan. Peter Gould, unfortunately, is not involved. That is the team. Those two are the ones responsible for Saul. Better Call Saul is... Oh, shit, it might be my favorite show of all time. Yeah, I think it is. Because I like it better than Breaking Bad. And I always say that Breaking Bad / Saul are my two favorites of all time. And I like Saul better, so... Better Call Saul is my favorite television show of all time. And cannot recommend it highly enough. It is fucking astonishingly good. What's also cool, and I did this, so immediately after I watched the Better Call Saul finale, I restarted it. And this is not a spoiler, because you know this literally from the first episode of the first season. The first episode of the first season is in black and white, and it's after the events of Breaking Bad, right? So there's a portion of season 6 of Saul, about half the season, or more than half, takes place after Breaking Bad. So you do kind of have to have watched Breaking Bad to to get it. They're very interconnected, these shows. It doesn't stand on its own that way, which I think could be a detriment to it, but I think of them as the same in my head. So anyway, what I did was I rewatched Saul all the way up to when it switches to the future, like the last present day moment of Saul. Then I watched all of Breaking Bad. Then I finished Saul. Then I watched the Jesse Pinkman movie to cap off. That was fun. I did the same thing with. I don't recommend doing that, by the way. If it's your first time, definitely don't do that. Just rewatch. Just watch the show as it is. But I did the same thing with the Game of Thrones books. Book 4 and 5 happen simultaneously, and so I looked up online I read them, normally once, and then on my second read through, I looked up online the chronological order to read them in. So you'd go like chapter 1, 2, 3 of book 4, and then you'd switch to book 5 for chapter 1, and then just back and forth. It was fun. And what's cool is like sometimes you'll get, because like the book 4 covered half the characters, the minor characters, and book 5 covers like the main characters. And you'll have characters that intersect, that watch the same events from two different perspectives. So the one that I'm thinking of is you see Tarly's perspective on a thing, and then you see John's perspective on the thing, and the dialogue is of course exactly the same in each book. It's cool. Stuff like that is fun, but that's AP shit. You don't need to do that for your first Saul viewing. But if you have not seen Better Call Saul, just do it. Just try it, man. I mean, I would say like just like watch a few episodes, and I don't know. It's not even, to me, it's not even one of those shows where you have to be like, well, it gets really good at around season 2. I feel like it's good right away, but I'm also biased because I love it. So I don't know. I would just say if it hasn't hooked you yet, keep watching. And if you don't like it by the end of season 1, kill yourself. That's my advice. So I'm really looking forward to Pluribus. Weird name. I'm sure that all will be revealed with the name of the thing. The reason it's called that, I don't know why it's called that, but it's probably something. It is probably something. It probably means something, don't you think? So, yeah. Very insightful, Harvey. The name of the show probably means something. All right, what have I been watching? Okay, I watched 2 comedy specials this week. I rewatched Louis C.K.'s Sorry, which is the second special post-cancellation. He gets canceled, then he waits a year, and then he starts touring again, and then he releases Sincerely. It's called Sincerely Louis C.K. That was like 2 years post-cancellation. Sorry is another year after that. Sincerely is the best one by far of the post-cancellation specials. I love that special dearly. I think it's fantastic. It's one of his best. I love him addressing all of the drama. It's excellent. Yeah, it's awesome. But he makes vague allusions to the whacking off, the jerking off in front of women, vaguely without their consent. Without their he did ask, but it's questionable and blah blah blah. Yeah, you know the story. He makes vague allusions to that in these next couple specials. He is touring right now before the release of his 4th post-cancellation special, which I am going to that tour. I'm going to see him in Austin with several friends. I'm looking forward to it. But yeah, so Sorry is the name of this one. It's interesting. It's like the loudest set decoration he's ever had. He has this giant, the word sorry, huge in these massive like light up letters on the stage, which you'd think like this made headlines when he dropped it, because he's like, Louis C.K. titles special Sorry, apologizes for, beating his meat in front of unsuspecting women. But that is not what it is. He just has that, like he alludes to it once. He says an off-color joke, and he points at it and he goes, sorry. But I think it's mostly just like he's like coyly apologizing for the darkness and the not quality, the tone. The fuck word am I looking for? The contents of his material is dark and fucked up as it always is, and so he's apologizing kind of fakely or sarcastically about that. That's my take on it. It's not the strongest theme, I guess. Sincerely, much stronger theme. And he's my favorite comedian, and this is one of his weakest specials in my opinion. Sorry, but it is. And here's the thing though, even his shittiest specials are not shitty and are in fact much better than everyone else's. His worst specials are still much better than most comedians, and I would rather watch his worst special again than listen to or watch 90% of the shit that's out there. So, there's something to be said for that. But I do think this is his, this ranks low. There's a time in my life a couple years back when I'd moved home from Austin, and I had the YouTube channel, still have the YouTube channel, but I haven't posted or even considered posting in more than a year now. And I had this, I wanted to do a Louis C.K. specials ranked video, and I actually filmed it in my room. This is before I made the studio space. Filmed it in my room, and I got like halfway through it, and I realized I am adding nothing of substance to this. I am not saying anything interesting. What I'm doing is pointing at bits and going, that's amazing, that's genius, that's incredible. And there's not much merit to that, right? And it's so difficult to rank his specials because so many of them are so great. It's easier to point at one of these like weaker ones and go, that's definitely towards the bottom of the pack. When it comes to like the top 5, like I have no idea how to rank them. They're all goated. So this one is not. This one's solid, but not great. Or great, but not excellent. Anyway, but yeah, I'm glad I rewatched. I actually had that footage saved of that video on my hard drive here, and I clicked it and cringed and deleted it, luckily. So that will never see the light of day, nor does it need to. Maybe I'll do something like that in the future, but I don't know, man. It's tough to think critically about comedy specials. I have a Letterboxd, and I don't ever rate comedy specials. It just seems odd to me to give it a number rating. So I like it. I still liked it. It's good. It's just not excellent like he normally is. So it is what it is. It's still worth watching. He's still the GOAT. He's still the GOAT. He's Louis motherfucking C.K. I watched Escape from New York. Have you guys seen this? John Carpenter, 1981. Escape from New York, starring Snake Plissken. What the hell is the actor's name? I'm blanking on it. Kurt Russell. Kurt Russell, of course, is Snake Plissken, who, hilariously, his name is Snake, and he has 2 giant snakes tattooed on his body. And he's like the coolest guy ever. That's his thing. He's like this super badass who doesn't give a fuck about anyone or anything. Your plot is that the city of Manhattan, it's the far future year of 1994, and the city of Manhattan has been walled off completely, and the entire interior is a prison. And the reason that's how the crime has gone up 800% or something like that. And they're like, the solution for this problem is to put every criminal into this massive dystopian prison that used to be Manhattan. Right? And then the movie opens with the president of the United States, Donald Trump. Donald Trump crash lands into the World Trade Center That's not a joke. They literally crash into the World Trade Center. It's like prophetic, pretty wild. And Kurt Russell, Snake Plissken, is sent in to get him out. There's your plot. So it's a classic. People love this movie. I watched it mostly because people love it. I love Carpenter. Do I love Carpenter? I don't know that I do. I love The Thing. The Thing, I love. I absolutely love it. I think it's phenomenal. I don't know that I've loved any of his other movies, TBH. I think he's such a respected figure. There's not a whole lot of his stuff that I've seen, so take that with a grain of salt. I'm not casting an opinion about this man just yet. I need to see more of his work. But this was kind of boring, TBH. Kind of boring. The set decoration is some of the best I've ever seen. The stuff they do with the miniatures and like composite photography, or like putting, this is the 80s, 81. So like they had the planes flying in and they have the miniature New York City underneath it. That stuff is fantastic. They do this like helicopter shot. I don't even know how they did this. They might have just like put a camera on ropes and moved it through the city as if a helicopter was on it, but it's a miniature city and it looks awesome. It looks so good. So like all that stuff is great. I feel it's similar to a Blade Runner for me, where OG Blade Runner, it's so technically impressive that you feel bad for not liking it more. And it was, this is much less influential than Blade Runner and much less beloved, but both of those movies suffer from the same problem, which is that they're fucking boring. Boring. And I don't know what to do about that, brother. I bought the 4K Blu-ray because it was on sale for like $10, and I was like, buying this will convince me to eventually watch this beloved classic. And I was correct in that assumption that it did eventually get me to watch it, but I'm not keeping it. I'm selling this Blu-ray. So it is what it is. You guys, any Carpenter stands in the chat? Probably so, right? He's beloved. But I didn't love it. I thought it was very forgettable, TBH. Onward. I watched Mother. Mother is mothering. Mother is mothering. Mother is smothering. Much more aptly. This is the Albert Brooks comedy about Mama, about his mom. This is one of his later movies. He's done 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 features, and this is in the most recent half. I want to see all of his movies because he is the man. To be fair, the big movies that I have not seen are Defending Your Life and Modern Romance. Those two are like considered classics and amazing. Defending Your Life is about being in heaven and like watching your life and like having to be like, oh no, I was doing that because of that. Like that concept is awesome. His first feature is called Real Life, and I did not like it at all. I thought it was very mid. But he did this movie called Lost in America, third feature, which I think is legitimately excellent. Fantastic, hilarious. It's it's like this uptight sort of crotchety couple who decide on a whim, the husband gets fired and the wife is kind of like stalling at work or something, and so they decide to sell all their belongings and buy a Winnebago and just travel the world like true explorers. And with no plans, they just sell all their stuff and hop in a Winnebago and they go, let's see this beautiful countryside of ours, right? And it goes so poorly. It's absolutely hilarious. This is the hardest I've laughed at a comedy in years. Was the first time I saw this. It's hilarious. It is so when you hear that premise, you kind of expect it to go a certain direction, and it's so anti-tropey. There's so few tropes that it falls into. So yeah, I can't recommend it enough. I love Lost in America, and so I really want to see like I fell in love with this man, Albert Brooks, from this movie. So I want to see all of his movies, and I will see all of his movies. I just saw Mother is Mothering, and it's about it's like a similar, he plays like sort of a down on his luck sort of guy who is getting his second divorce, and he's wondering where it all went wrong. His life is kind of shitty, and he thinks that he can like pinpoint the issue, and that the issue is his mother, his mom. So as an experiment, he like the leases. Oh yeah, he's getting divorced, so he doesn't have the house anymore. So as an experiment, instead of getting a new place, he moves back in with his mother as a 40-year-old, and moves back into his childhood bedroom and just exists with his mom and tries to understand her, and like tries to get a handle on why he turned out the way he did and why she is the way she is. And she's like this very overbearing, apologetic. She's constantly making apologies to strangers for her son being there. He's like, why do you care what these people think? It's awesome. I enjoyed this movie quite a bit. Great premise, great acting. Albert Brooks is awesome and hilarious, and I love him. I don't have much else to say. I would recommend this film. You should watch list that shit, brother. Watch Mother, and especially watch Lost in America. Lost in America is easily my favorite of his that I've seen so far, but he's awesome. Albert Brooks is the shit. With that, sloppers, I'm going to wrap this shit up, brother. I watched one more comedy special I forgot to tell you about. Joe DeRosa, I Never Promised You a Rose Garden. It's good. Pretty good. If you like DeRosa, it's worth checking out. It's he's got like a theme. It's a very strong theme, and run it through line to the special that is solid. It wasn't my favorite thing I've seen in a while. It's solid though. Can't complain. Good. He's a better comedian than I thought. I'd never seen it stand up really. I just seen him on podcasts. But anyway, sloppers, that's all I got. Thank you for listening. Kind of a rambly episode, but you know what? It is what it is. I am willing to be not great at this. It is episode 17. Thank you so much for your support. I appreciate it. Maybe I should stop apologizing for the quality of this podcast when in fact, maybe you love it. God love you, Slop Nation. Thank you so much for listening. Truly, I really, really appreciate it. I will see you next week. Goodbye.